We all say we want peace, right? It's this universal ideal, something everyone from beauty pageant contestants to world leaders talks about. But what if I told you that sometimes the most dangerous thing you can do is actually try to make peace? It sounds crazy, but the story of one man proves just how explosive the path to peace can be. The year is 1995. The Middle East is, as it often is, a tangled web of conflict and tension. But in the midst of this, a leader in Israel, Prime Minister Yitzhak Rabin, decides to do something radical. He was a military man, a general who had fought for his country his entire life. He knew war inside and out. But he came to believe that the only true security for his people wasn't through more fighting, but through a lasting peace. So, he did the unthinkable. He sat down to talk with his enemies. He chose negotiation over force. This wasn't just a symbolic gesture. Rabin, along with Palestinian leader Yasser Arafat, began the Oslo Accords. These were a series of agreements aimed at finding a two-state solution. It was a monumental step. For the first time in decades, there was a real, tangible hope that the long, bloody conflict could finally end. For this, Rabin, Arafat, and Israeli Foreign Minister Shimon Peres were awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 1994. The world was watching, holding its breath. It felt like history was turning a corner. Rabin's decision made him a global icon, a statesman of immense courage. But it also made him a target. See, not everyone was happy about this. On both sides, extremists saw these peace talks as a betrayal. To them, compromise was weakness. The idea of sharing land, of recognizing the other side's right to exist, was an unforgivable sin. Within his own country, Rabin faced intense opposition. He was branded a traitor. The political climate grew hotter and more toxic by the day. The man who was trying to build bridges was being vilified for it. He was powerful on the world stage, but at home, he was incredibly vulnerable. Then came November 4th, 1995. Rabin was at a massive peace rally in Tel Aviv. The square was packed with over 100,000 people, singing songs of peace, their faces lit with hope. It was a celebration of the future he was trying to build. After giving a speech, he walked towards his car. And in that moment, 3 shots rang out. A right-wing Israeli extremist, someone who believed Rabin was giving away their homeland, had shot him in the back. Yitzhak Rabin, the soldier-turned-peacemaker, was assassinated. The shock was immediate and devastating. It was as if the world itself had stopped turning. The man who had staked his life on peace was killed not by his enemies in war, but by one of his own people in a time of hope. With his death, the hope for peace died too. The peace talks, which were already fragile, completely fell apart. The moderates on both sides lost their momentum, and the extremists gained ground. The atmosphere of trust and cautious optimism was replaced by suspicion and renewed hatred. The Middle East spiraled into a new, even colder and harder era of violence and conflict. The assassination of Yitzhak Rabin taught the world a brutal lesson. Sometimes, the act of making peace can provoke more violent opposition than war itself. It exposes the deep-seated fears and hatreds that fuel a conflict, and it makes the peacemaker a lightning rod for all that rage. Rabin's story is a tragic reminder that the path to peace is not a gentle stroll. It's a treacherous journey through a minefield. It forces us to ask a difficult question. If even a Nobel Prize-winning leader can be killed for trying to end a war, what does it take to truly achieve peace? It's a sobering thought, and it shows that the fight for peace is often the most dangerous battle of all. Thank you for watching. If this story made you think, consider subscribing for more deep dives into history's most critical moments. See you next time.